here's what you don't understand about sustained motivation. Everybody loves this notion that discipline is more important than motivation, that motivation doesn't matter, and forget that. It's way more complicated than that. That's for sure. Way more complicated. Firstly, nobody can explicitly state what motivation is, right? Exactly what that one singular aspect of motivation is. Rather, it's a multitude of factors. Lifestyle, intrinsic, right? Intrinsic motivation, you need to eat, so go kill that animal and cook it. That's another one. You got stress-induced motivation. That's why people, medical students, can stay in the library all night, study, cram information. Fear of an outcome, maybe you've got a fucking lion running after you and you need to run away. That's motivation. Fear of getting dead. You got avoiding an outcome. Maybe you don't want to fail something, so you've got some level of motivation there to accomplish the task. Like, there are just so many to list, and you can just do your own thinking on this and you can understand the types of motivation, or you can just go on Google and search out how many types of motivation there are. But people only want to think about motivation as the achievement motivation. I want to achieve X amount of dollars, so I'm going to start doing crypto. 3 days later, I've got a business plan and no action, doesn't do anything about it. And then now you think that no, it's about discipline, sticking to my 9-to-5 grind every day, going to the gym every day, and somehow everything's going to work itself out. No, it's not how it works. It's too hard to say that discipline, it's too incorrect to say that discipline trumps motivation all the time. For me, I love motivation. I love it. Let's talk about stress for this video. Okay, because everybody loves to say, oh, we've got to reduce stress, we've got to reduce our cortisol, we've got to, enjoy our life. But what if I could tell you that you could have more motivation? Would you take it? And this is for you. Yes, of course you would. Stress-induced motivation is one of the most powerful motivators there is. Okay? It's literally why lots of people do the things they do. I mean, the most basic form of stress-induced motivation. Why do you think someone who's been up all night, they have 2 or 3 hours of sleep and they wake up to the alarm in the morning and they need to go to work? Why do they not fall back asleep straight away, even though they're fucking tired? It's because they're stressed. There's a bit of fear about the outcome. There's avoidance of getting the embarrassment of not showing up to work. There's the knowing the fact that you need the money to eat, so that's some intrinsic motivation. But all that goes into stress. Stress is so important. So now that we understand that stress is so powerful, how can we leverage it? How can we use it to our benefit? Because if we do this right, we can have another dimension to our motivation, to our inspiration, and to our discipline. We can make discipline a lot easier if we can use stress properly. Now I'm just going to point out in my school community, I've got a whole classroom dedicated to hormone maxing, optimizing hormones, and I've just dropped a cortisol class in there, okay? Specific to optimizing cortisol. I'm going to go into depth on that. But for this video, we're going to talk about stress, okay, and stress-induced motivation. It's related, but it's a little bit different. If you want more in-depth information, check out the link below. But if we just begin to look at life, right, life without stress, what does that even mean? Zero long-term stress indicates a lack of engagement in life activities, in problem-solving behaviors. Basically, you just don't have any meaning to any of your behavior during the day. There's no meaning. And that's when we can start to think about, maybe people are developing mental disorders and anxieties and depression. It's because maybe there's a lack of stress. Not that there's too much stress. I'm sure that exists. But perhaps there's a lack of stress in some activity. And I mentioned this in the school community, but stress and excitement are actually very similar in both function and in how they're regulated, The only difference I would say between stress and excitement is the involvement of the hypothalamus, which is memory formation. But apart from that, if we can just change the way we perceive stress, we can almost shift the spectrum towards excitement, right? If we can, I know it's hard to say, but if we can be excited about doing work, if we can be excited about problem solving, if we can be excited about approaching a challenge, right? And then we can feed off the achievement that we get off that. We can go into this cycle of using stress, right? So the first thing with stress is we want to create a sense of urgency, right? Why are assignments and school assignments and, you know, work assignments so unpleasurable? Is because there's a sense of like a time limit. Like, you've got to get it done. It's quite urgent. That's stress inducing. So if we can set clear goals and set timelines, deadlines to our goals, we can induce a little bit of stress. In my school community, I break down long-term, mid-term, and short-term goals. Long-term goal, it's there. We're not trying to achieve it, but it's there. We're just trying to be the person to achieve it. Mid-term goals, attach a time limit to that. Short-term goals, that's your non-negotiable tasks for the day, attach time limits to that. I promise you, most people, even though it seems simple, most people won't attach time limits to their goals. They say, I want to do this, I want to do that, but they don't know when. Put a fucking time limit on it and stick to the time limit. Respect yourself. A teacher will give you an assignment and you got to do it in 2 weeks and you'll get it done, but you'll give yourself an easy assignment, you'll never get it done. It's because you don't respect yourself. Once we understand that there's a sense of urgency, change how we perceive the stress. Be excited about it. I know it sounds a bit fucking weird, but just grow up and be excited about accomplishing challenges and being an adult. Okay? You're doing this for your benefit. So be happy. Viewing stressful environments as an opportunity for growth. It's hard, but when we start to think about, I put it like this. This is one of my favorite thoughts recently. Defeat is only a state of mind. Defeat is only a state of mind. Defeat doesn't exist, right? There's no such thing as defeat until it's perceived as reality, until it's perceived as, okay, I've achieved defeat. Until then, the game continues. It literally just keeps going. You're like, okay, yeah, I'm losing, but I'm still playing the game. It's why a river cuts rock. Not because of its power, not because of its innate ability. No, because of its perseverance and resilience. Over and over and over and over and over again and again and again and again and again. Defeat is a state of mind. So if we see stress as an opportunity for growth, even if you fail, the game continues. You're still playing. So keep going, keep going, keep going. It gets hard, yes. Maybe something happens. Right now, the other day, I just found out some fucking bad news that's gonna make my life so hard next year. Fuck it. Just gotta make more money. That's how it is. So now I've got this added level of stress, this urgency. But I'm excited about it. Because I know that if I can get through this, then I can do a lot more. Do you know what I mean? From understanding this simple fact, we can start to leverage stress from external forces. I'm talking competition, right? If we can learn to compete with others, learn to compete with maybe our future self, we can leverage that competition and use it in stress-induced motivation. I talked about at the beginning of this video, there's different types of motivation. You know, you got your intrinsic, fear-induced, fear of the outcome, fear of avoidance, whatever. Search up your fears. Brainstorm. Sit there, and here's an exercise. Close your eyes and just think, what am I afraid of? Write down your fears. Write down your fears and see if any of those can play into your motivation. Fear of not being successful enough, fear of not having the money, fear of not having the body, fear of not being confident, fear of not having the friends, fear of not having the network, fear of not getting the job, fear of not having the promotion, fear. Whatever you fucking fear, write it down. And what's your stress-inducing motivation? Set the goal, create a timeline, be urgent about it. In the next 6 months, I need to do this. And understand deep down that if you don't do this, your fears will be realized. I promise you, you'll have a much better sustained motivation. It's going to make discipline easier, okay? I'm going to wrap it up for this video, but I encourage you to check out the classroom, check out the community, okay? Because I go into depth on exactly how to optimize cortisol. Anyway, catch you later.